right, you guys.
We can create a perfect environment, a perfect world, a perfect ecosystem. And when I say perfect, I'm using hyperbole. Um, what I mean is, right now it's 75 degrees where I am. This is the perfect weather. Sunny, 75 degrees, a beautiful breeze that hits us every, hour or so. That's something we can actually create. Like we can actually do that. Years ago, when I was a kid, well, 20 years ago, whatever, when I was becoming an adult, I was made privy to some documents, um, treaties that were shared between nations, the more advanced nations, the ones that have nuclear power and some of these other hidden technologies. And in these treaties, they said that no weather manipulation would be allowed as a form of weaponry between nations. So England could not use weather manipulation against France or against the United States. This was in 1972 that this document was apparently drafted or signed or something. Anyway, I saw it like over 20 years ago, 25 years ago, whatever. And or maybe 23, whatever. I saw it over 20 years ago. And I thought that was interesting. And the idea behind it was that we have the ability to manipulate weather, to alter weather, and that's not a fringe theory, guys. It's not like hocus pocus tin hat bullshit. It's mainstream. If you don't know about it, then look it up. We can create storms. We can create um, upper atmospheric conditions that lead to rain or snow. I mean, just a couple of years ago, there was this massive controversy about how in Dubai it was flooding because they had seeded rain and they had overdone it. And so they had floods and things like that happening. So we can create a perfect ecosystem here on Earth. We can create perfect health where every single human that comes out of a vagina or out of C-section will live to 120 years healthy. We don't want people living to 120 years and they crack out at 75 and then they're just vegetables for 50 years. We want people that are vibrant and youthful and strong and beautiful until they're 120 years old. So we can actually do that now. I have had the privilege of being exposed to certain technologies and certain techniques and therapies that not only prolong your life, but give you years back. Like you can actually erase 10 years off of your face, off of your life doing some of these technologies. One of the technologies is called divorce. It takes 10 years off your life and adds it, no, 10 years. Marriage, I'm joking. All right, Cristiano. My home is Bangladesh, but I live in Spain. I watch your live streams from Spain. Thank you. I love Spain. And I would like to visit Bangladesh if they could just get their economy and government together. That might be the reason you're in Spain. But I think Bangladesh, the ultimate, like the base cultures there are beautiful from what I've seen. I've never been, but I perhaps we'll go one day. It's not on my top 50 list, no. But Spain is, I think, in my top 50 because I want to visit Andalusia. So thank you for joining, Cristiano. All right. The siblings said hi. Hello, the siblings. All right. And Pavan Yadav. Welcome, welcome, Pavan Yadav. I like that last name. Yadov, Yadov, Yadov. Tell me well, you don't have to tell me what culture that is, but if you feel comfortable, share with me that culture. So we have if you live tell me if you live in a place where the weather is just trash. Like it's 100 degrees every day and it's like the humidity of 275. Like, look at these little piglets. You want to see the piglets? Whip, 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 whip. I don't know why they're making noise. They're so cute. Police officers, they wear their little matching outfits. They have matching outfits, and they all drive matching cars, and they have matching outfits, and they carry their little badges right here, and they have the little cameras on their clothes. They're so cute. I don't even know why they just did that little beep beep sound. In the United States, our police officers walk around with a chip on their shoulder. They're little boys that never felt like full men, and so they have to go and boss other people around. But the police officers are awesome. I actually love them. I think they're great and important because humanity is not civilized yet. So you need them around to use their little belly sticks on people's heads every once in a while. Beep! And people are acting stupid. 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 But yeah, if you live in a country that has shit weather, wouldn't it be wonderful if your government had the technology to just like make it 75 degrees every day? I mean, let's give ourselves variety. Okay, let's have a day that's 72 and one is 65 and the other is 83, but never go above like 85 degrees and never go below 655 degrees. Just keep it in that window. Let's have winter. Okay, let's have 3 months of winter. But we have the technology to do that. So why, in the desert, like I said, in Dubai, they can create rain, and they have had flooding as a result of that. In the desert, back in the 1930s, Wilhelm Reich, a great mind, one of the greatest minds of all time. He was definitely not human from this earth. He was from somewhere else. But he rediscovered the power of orgone and found a way to cure cancer, to seed clouds in the sky. So you can point a device at the sky and it will actually cause clouds to form and rain. They've used this device in Israel and in Morocco and in Egypt. And they've successfully seeded lots and lots of clouds. They've actually created lakes and streams and things like that where lakes and streams haven't been for centuries. So what I'm sharing with you is not hocus pocus. It's not fringe. It's not bullshit. Like, you can look it up. So why do you live in a place, or why are there places on Earth where deserts exist and people are living there? Why are there places where people have to suffer with, 99-degree weather and 85% humidity when you can change that? I mean, because the reason is, and I'll tell you, it's very simple, because of this really interesting phenomena that takes place in human societies, and it's called stupidity. People are just fucking stupid. That's why. I mean, our governments have the technology to do this. The only reason they can't use it is because the mass population won't allow it. Massive population's afraid of it. Like I said, we can reverse aging. We can improve the human condition. Your grandmother, whose body is falling apart and she's like 91 years old, and her hips falling apart, her mind is falling apart, her elbows and everything are just swollen up. She can go in and get a treatment, and within 3 to 6 months, she can be as healthy as she was when she was 65. Like that exists now, and it has existed for probably damn near a century in the public. I mean, the elites always had this stuff for thousands of years. They've always had it, but it's been available to like gummy worms, like everybody else. So why don't we have it? In Galatians 6:7, it says, "Be not deceived, for God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sows, that will he also reap." Society is sowing scarcity and lack and fear and limitation and suffering, and I need to be a good person. And guess what they're getting in return? Everything that matches up with those energy fields. So if you're not pleased with the results of your life, change your nature, change your identity. Stop focusing on your actions. Oh, I need to work hard to be a good person. I need to work hard to earn God's salvation. You're never going to get it by working hard for it, because your good works are trash. Your good works are as clean and as desirable as a used up period panty or a used up tampon, right? That's what good works are to God. So stop trying. Identify yourself as a child of the Most High Creator, source being of all things, and watch how your life starts to work. Here at Apex Christianity, we're about creating a world that works. We're about living an abundant life. We're about connecting to our source, the Most High. You can be of any religion. Oh, I don't believe in God. Okay, well, you're an idiot. I don't have time for you. Go somewhere else. I don't believe in God. Well, when you look in the mirror, do you recognize yourself? Oh, okay, you know God then. Stop trying to think that God is this little tiny box idiot that they tell you about in the church. It has nothing to do with God. The source being, the true power behind all of this stuff, is real. And when you access it, when you utilize it, when you cultivate it, when you master your grasp of it, then your life starts to work. That's all we want. Everybody on this planet, it's all they want. Hello, Mason, welcome back. All we want here, all that people want, all that humans want in this world, is a life that works. That's all people want. That's all we want. We're not asking to be the richest people in the world. We're not asking to have all the bitches, all the lovers, and all the men, and all that. We're not asking for all that. We just want a life that works. Because when you have a life that works, you can build on that. but it requires that you find the seat of power. Jesus said that. He said, you will have everything you want, the money, the house, the food, the clothing, everything you want. Just find the seat of power. Find the access point of dominion. Find out where your identity truly lies. When you have found that, when you've tapped into that, when you've connected with that, that's when life starts to flourish. Jesus said that. But of course, the church, Rome, got their little dirty hands in there. They got their dirty hands in there, and then they said, oh, the kingdom of heaven. It used the metaphorical terminology that nobody can connect with. Kingdom of heaven. And then in your whole life, you're told the heaven is up there. And you're shown images of a sky phantom fairy tale bearded man in the sky with lily billy white angels floating around. They all look like losers. They all look like sad, broken losers. And then there are all these people out there. Yeah, oh, where are you going to go after your dad, brother? God is real. All you got to do is tap into it. When you tapped into it, everything falls into place. The money, the health, the wealth, the love, the relationships, all this stuff falls into place. It takes time. If you've built up a life of suffering and scarcity and savagery for 40 years, it may not change overnight. But you can accept the gift of salvation, which is a life that works for you. A life that works for you. A life that works for you isn't going to be a life that works for me. We're all different animals. God didn't make a tiger eat the exact same thing that a gummy worm eats. Gummy worms don't eat. God didn't make the food of the tiger the same as the food of the Tweety bird. Okay? They both serve a place inside the ecosystem. Every human has his or her place within this world. And there's a place for you and your dreams and your desires and your hopes and your fantasies. There's a place for all of that. So, why not open yourself up to it? We can create a world that works. We can create perfect weather right now. We can do it. We can do it. We've done it. We can turn the deserts green again. Easy. Senegal, Chad, Mali, parts of Nigeria, they're doing it. They're killing it. Like, they're stopping the Sahara from encroaching into their countries. The sub-Saharan countries are killing it. They're building a green wall that is like none other seen. I mean, these people are killing it. These Mauryans are killing it. Okay? And then you have China. China. China has actually created a green wall as well. They're stopping the advance of the Gobi Desert. You know, they can eradicate the Gobi Desert in probably 10 years. They eradicated good amounts of the desert over the last 15 or 20 years. Like, got rid of it. Like, there's no more desert there in certain parts of China. So these are things that can be done. But what happens? Like, in the West, a lot of people are stuck in 9-to-5s that they hate. Get up and go to the job, flip the burgers, or do the little doodly things in the office room. You know, like, all that stuff. If you don't like doing that, hey, maybe there's a job for you, and maybe not a job. But, you know, your dreams are things that's like God's, your dreams, your desires are God's whispers to you about the life that's coming. But every time you tell yourself, oh, it's not possible, because it hurts to think about your dreams because you don't feel confident that you're going to get them, then you're telling God, fuck you, you're an idiot. God's not going to take that kind of abuse. God's not going to take that kind of bad treatment. God's not going to take that from you. God doesn't care. But you know what I'm saying? So why do you keep living a life that doesn't work? Why do you keep waking up every day and going to a job that you hate and working with people you don't even like, doing shit you don't even want to fucking do? Why? When you decide that your life belongs to you and you get to live your life now, guess what happens? The entire cosmos focuses in on helping you to accomplish that expectation, that intention. So, in the next video, we're going to talk about why we try so hard to be good people and why being good makes you good for nothing. If you're a good person, I'm going to tell you now, you're good for nothing. If you think you're a good person, you're good for nothing. Life doesn't have any value for that, and God has no respect for that. And so we're going to talk about it. So if you're interested in breaking the cycle of being a good person, trying to be a good person, and constantly failing and suffering and being a savage and all these other things, make sure you tune into that video. Stay